All right, let's get into crypto and Krypton. And Elon Reeves Musk, the Reeves connects to Christopher Reeves, which is part of the Superman. And that has Zod. And some of these stories, we got the Phantom Zone. That Phantom Zone takes you to the Phantom Menace, and that's the Star Wars side, and the Phantom Sub for that Mission Impossible side, and then that Tom Cruise, that Twin Cross, and that Twin Cross is upon you as the dawn of time has come in with his Doge off leash. He let him out of the cage, and now the cage, the Newsom, that leash is being pulled back, and these different things that are playing out. Crypto, we're told, is there to create and be a foundation for a new world. And this is part of a nightmare sequence when Superman starts sinking into the skulls. But this is where that dead in Christ rise, and they're having meeting of the minds as the foot comes down on their heads, which connects to that clay and iron empire that we're told of in the scripture, and that would be them. They're in heaven, but he's bringing hell down on them with the footsteps and the soul, and that soul is tied to that garden that's growing dark as the ice and those things gather in one way, shape, or form in the National Guard, and this is where your hearts have grown cold, and this is a cleansing process of America, and either way, so Superman number 283, the first appearance in 1961. That's a flip-flop on the 9/11 and such, and a mirror on with the 69 for the George Washington and those things. The 283 connects you to an engine, and it also connects you to the 28, which is coming up, and then the 83 is the 24 in those times, so that's a clock setting. And we just passed 2024. We're going into the 24 of 9/11. 2026 is a 2020 or a 24 with a 6 minus 2 being 4. Those things, and then 2028 is a 24 with a division. So, and then you get to the 2030, which is from the 23 to the 2030. That's a clock sequence on the I would call it like an 11th hour gap. That's like the tribulational time frames where you're being shaken and woken up. Hey, this is it. And then time to prepare. You're being pulled into the heaven, or the window into heaven, crawling through, and those things. And some of us crawled through, kind of set things up in one way, shape, or form. And we're just kind of like looking back in another type of negative space. Either way, so the crypto and General Zod, the Oz, and the Oz is that gold bricks that's been laying upon you by the dawn of time, doing his little gold shoes, or his gold Visa, or now his gold phone, the T1 for the 1984 Terminator, and those types of things that's setting upon the earth. This is part of that mark to buy and sell. Okay, so it's I don't know how it can be much clearer. The worship of the man to buy and sell. All right, and I'm telling you, this is where things get confusing for people, because he's playing a multi-hand system. He's doing the old and the new in different ways, and this is where he's telling you his name's on it, but his sons are actually the one running the company. All right, so these are tied to some kings that's being put on the earth to perhaps follow, as that picture of money's being set forth, and the apple may grow sour in one way, shape, or form, and that's your way to tree of knowledge of good and evil, but they don't, but the world out here that's trapped in this garden, they don't want you taking that thing, and then once it gets to a certain point in time, it might, since it's made in the USA supposedly and blah blah blah, it may not be interfered with whatever happens when it happens. And this can just be like localized areas. It doesn't have to be like nationwide or whatever. It's just a way to get that light to start flickering on, and that that greenhouse per se, and that light depth system where you gotta have that controlled curtain in certain times. So that's also tied to the new cosmos and the big bangs and the curtains and all those things being done over there. And then we also saw the galaxy that blew up or whatever, so that's part of the little big bang happening over there. And this is especially, if you've been following my channel or whatever, these things should be like popping out to you and ringing in your ears and in your eyes or whatever, and be like, hey, like, and then either way, folks, you got the RNA first, the IRAN next, the ARN, and then you probably got the NRA coming, and all those are like different firearms in different ways. So y'all are gonna go from these firearms to these firearms, okay? So you can heal the body. All right. Anyways, hopefully this may help you understand the world of crypto a little bit better, as far as the easy light source given to us by Superman. Okay, and the Superman, the US on the back side. Okay, and well, you see the man on the NAM on the back side. You got the Superman going forward, bringing shit in, turning America upside down. Our purse is on the Persians that it tells you about in Daniel. The Medes and Persians, okay? It's part of the flood waters. Either way, it was off on a tangent. We're at the man on the backside, the NAM. The NAM is that draft, okay? And we may see a draft of different sorts, and I'm going to get into this about the video games and the robots and such that we're seeing line up, okay?